rotating machines capable of harnessing energy. I know this sounds crazy, but watch this first. This is a 16th century lingam in India, so it is like 500 years old. And it's very interesting because the cylinder in the center is stable, while the yoni or the base can be rotated around. This is very strange. And initially, I saw this and I thought maybe this is just an engineering mistake. But then the same guy sent me another video, and this one is even more strange. Watch this. Here, the entire lingam is mounted on a column, and then you can see that the column is stable, but the entire lingam and yoni can be rotated freely. I know the column at the bottom is freshly painted, but this is also a 16th century lingam from the same area in the state
Adiós,
of
adiós,
Karnataka.
adiós, adiós.
So we know they were deliberately designed to rotate like this. But the question is,
No, de que
why?
cuando uno
Why
dice,
were these lingams designed like this? The answer might be that ancient builders of India tried to generate electricity by making rotating mechanisms, just like how we use modern day turbines. All we have to do in this case is to make the central cylinder a magnet and the rotating base into a conducting material, and you can generate electricity. This is a basic scientific principle called electromagnetic induction. Of course, you may think, but this cylinder is made of rock, not a magnet. Watch this video and let me know what you think. Here's the weird part. This rock, called black basalt, is quite magnetic. This is the same basalt rock, unpolished. This is the same material used to make stone lingams. And when you put a magnet next to it, it becomes clear that basalt is a very magnetic rock. And I've always noticed something strange. Even though the temple walls, towers may be made of granite, sandstone, or some other type of rocks, even though the temple walls, towers may be made of granite, sandstone, or some other type of rocks, the lingams are almost always made of basalt. And now we can understand why ancient builders always chose the lingam are almost always made of basalt. And now we can understand why ancient builders always chose the lingam made of basalt, due to its magnetic properties. And some temples even have lingams made of metals to enhance the magnetic properties. It appears that there are complex lingams made completely out of metal, and recent footage reveals that they can even be opened and maintained periodically. People have always assumed that these are meaningless rituals, but fly ash is an excellent lubricant, and it's used even in factories today. All this information is slowly coming out because now everybody has internet and everybody has a camera in their phone. Okay, let's say the metal lingams can be opened, but how can they open stones? I mean, after all, most lingams are made of solid basalt rocks. How can they be used as boxes with more stuff inside? Take a look at this video.
వెయిట్ ఎక్కువ హ్యాండ్లింగ్ చేయడం
இந்த பக்கம் வந்து நீங்க லைட் அடிக்கணும் இது உள்ளுக்குள்ள உட்கார்ஸ்கமா இருக்கு
In an ancient temple, a solid stone is worshipped as a sacred object. Nobody knew what was inside until now. However, a priest has recently shown what's actually inside. This is incredible because what seems like just a large polished rock has a secret chamber inside. And inside, there's a large cylinder, almost like an hourglass shaped structure, which appears to have steps on it. This inside structure is called Ugrastamba. You can actually hear this term mentioned in the video. And this is a very, very strange term because it roughly means a frequency cylinder in Sanskrit. If you search for the term Ugra online, you can quickly find that Ugra not only denotes a tone or frequency, we even know its exact frequency. It is 441.4931 hertz. And this is crazy because why would such a name be given to an ancient object? And why would it be placed inside a temple? What could be the purpose of a frequency generator or a frequency device in an ancient temple? Recent footage shows that when these frequency cylinders are used and lingams are rotated, birds start to flock around in large numbers into the temple. And they also fly around making strange patterns which resemble frequencies. Today, we're able to visualize frequencies, and birds are also flying around these temples in similar patterns when these ancient devices. Hindu and birds are also flying around these temples in similar patterns when these ancient devices are used. Hindus have always believed that there is a positive vibration in ancient temples, and when combined with rituals and mantras, temples become sources of some type of resonant frequency, also called spiritual energy. Hindus have maintained these rituals in complete secrecy for more than 2,000 years, and these rituals are done only on certain times of the year. In the city of Gwalior, there's a lingam, and they spin it on specific occasions. But there's something spectacular here. It even has a coil. This is a copper coil set up around the cylinder. This is pure science. Putting a copper coil and a magnet is exactly how we produce electricity today. So it seems obvious that ancient builders of India were doing something scientific by producing electricity and generating specific frequencies. But at this point, we're not able to fully understand the magnitude and purpose of what they were doing. All these scientific by producing electricity and generating specific frequencies. But at this point, we're not able to fully understand the magnitude and purpose of what they were doing. All these clips are not mine. They were posted by volunteers like you on Praveen Mohan Sangha group in Facebook. So the credit goes to the original owners of these clips. So what do you think? Are lingams some kind of rotating energy devices? Why else would they make these rotating lingams many centuries ago? Are they capable of producing some type of strange frequency or spiritual energy? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I am Praveen Mohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell button to get all the updates. Please give it a thumbs up and do share it with your friends. And I will talk to you soon. Bye. Nice. Today, I'm going to show you these extraordinary pillars in the ancient temple of Angkor Wat. You can see right away that these pillars cannot be made using primitive tools like chisels and hammers. You absolutely have to use a lathe machine, a rotating mechanism to create these pillars. And experts agree that this is not possible using chisels and hammers. I have already shown you large pillars in ancient Indian temples which have been created using lathe technology. But these pillars of Angkor Wat are much more advanced. This is so advanced that it's not even possible to do it today using the technology we have. I know that's a big statement, but if you watch till the end of the video, you may agree with me. Look at the pillars here. There's something very strange about them. Yes, these marks called turn marks can be achieved only using lathe technology. But look at the other operations here. They did complex processes, thread cutting. This is the only way to achieve several little cylinders in the same shaft. They did another process called chamfering. So one part becomes bulgy while the other part is narrow. Imagine doing these complicated machining at least 900 years ago on solid sandstone blocks. But ancient builders were not satisfied even after processing them in a lathe machine. After this, they then carved on the faces of the pillars. There are carvings in millimeters on them everywhere. But all this is not crazy. The real crazy part is that vertical groove, the vertical line that goes from top to bottom. This is impossible to achieve even with lathe technology. You cannot make vertical grooves like this unless you use another advanced machine like an angle grinder or a circular saw today. But it's not even the vertical groove that bothers me. What's really crazy is that this line goes from the top to the bottom. And look at the depth of that groove. This is not a fancy groove made for beauty. This is a cut that was made deep enough to open the pillar into 4 equal halves lengthwise. Look, this is incredible. They made straight, deep lines that go from top to bottom so they could cut the pillar open into 4 equal halves. We cannot do this today, even with modern technology. This pillar is probably 2 inches wide. Imagine taking a cylinder made of sandstone that is just 2 inches wide, cut it into 4 equal halves, and put it back together to make it look like one solid piece. We cannot do this today unless we use computerized machines like CNC machines. So how did they cut solid sandstone lengthwise into 4 equal halves? Even more interesting, how did they glue these blocks back together so it looks like one piece even after so many centuries? Look at the perfect fitting here. This looks like woodwork, but each pillar is made of 4 joined pieces. This is clear evidence of ancient machining technology. But there's an important question that's even more mind-boggling. Why? Why did they have to process these pillars in lathes and then split them up only to put them back together? It's much easier to just have it as a single piece rather than cut it into 4 pieces and put them back together. Rather than cut it into 4 pieces and put them back together. So why did they do this? Think about it. Why would you cut something open and then put it back together? So why did they do this? Think about it. Why would you cut something open and then put it back together? If there's no need for it, you will never cut it open in the first place. The only reason you will do this is if you have to put something inside. Today, we do this all the time when we need to keep something safe. We make a secret hole, put some valuable stuff inside, and then put it back together and pretend it's a solid box, right? We have experts who make so many secret compartments in houses. It will look solid, but if you push a button or if you use leverage, it will open up. If you see how they make these secret boxes, they take a solid piece, cut it finely, make a small room in the center, and put it back so no one can even tell it is a container holding something inside. 99% of people will just think it's one solid piece. Is this why these pillars were cut open? Because there's absolutely no other need to cut this into 4 pieces and then put it back together. So there's definitely something inside. What's inside? Is it somehow related to the technology that's inside Angkor Wat's main towers? In a previous video, I already showed you how there was a mysterious energy box inside the main tower's secret chamber. Now, why am I connecting these pillars and the main towers? Here's why. All these pillars are located in places where sun shines on them at particular times of the day. When sunlight is not falling on them, you don't see anything. But when sunlight falls on them, look at the shadow. Do you see what this is? Let me turn this around. What do you see now? This shadow shows Angkor Wat's temple towers. Yes, you can actually see the towers of the temple in the form of shadows. If you look carefully, you can see the central tall tower, 2 smaller towers, and you can even see the 2 towers on the sides. I mean, this is incredible. This cannot be a coincidence. And these shadows only happen on certain times of the day, on certain pillars, creating a magical effect. Is it some type of a symbol or a code pointing to an advanced technology hidden inside some of these pillars? Why else would they make such complex structures and make them even more mysterious by making the shadow in the shape of the towers? If you walk around the temple, you can see that each window is being guarded by these celestial beings called apsaras. In most other Hindu temples, these guardians are shown protecting the main chamber or major gods. But in Angkor Wat, these guardian angels are shown protecting these pillars. What is so precious hidden inside that they need to be guarded? Why were these pillars created? I'm sure some engineers will laugh at this question, right? I mean, windows, by definition, are built to let air and sunlight in. And these pillars are decorative elements in the windows. But look at this one. They made the late pillars, but on the other side, it's closed. And look here, and look at the entire stretch of this side of the temple. It's all completely closed using sandstone blocks. So these pillars were definitely not made as decorative elements, and these were not made as windows for sunlight or air. So what is the actual reason for making these pillars? One thing is very clear. The ancient builders definitely used advanced machining technology. They used lathe machines, they knew how to cut stone blocks like pizza, and they knew how to put them back together. But we don't know the answer to the most important question. What's hidden inside these pillars? Please let me know your machining technology. They used lathe machines, they knew how to cut stone blocks like pizza, and they knew how to put them back together. But we don't know the answer to the most important question. What's hidden inside these pillars. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I am Praveen Mohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell button.
If you did add the keeper bar to the top of it, it does become a tuning fork. Now this doesn't stick at all. It's heavy. Not much going on there. I've been wanting to show off this experiment. It was one of my first heavy scallons. I'm going to take this little blue battery. I'm going to wrap a piece of tape. The wheel. I'm going to take the hook up the positive. Take it and twine it. Alright, put some tape on this thing. Image, which I want you guys to realize this because nobody ever mentions that the PMH is part of a hit and miss motor. The wire, similar. I'm going to show you guys. You don't need the wire. Now, they skinned pieces of it off and started using it for other things, especially Ed with his. So here we go. So I have just wire wrapped around it, okay? And I got this keeper bar. Put the bar up, it doesn't stick. If I touch this, we're stuck. Now the thing is, what got me going is I didn't know you didn't need the wire anymore. Nobody shows that. So I'm going to show you guys. You don't need the wire. The wire, similar to the dissecting a capacitor MIT video. If you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. It's called Dissecting Capacitor from MIT University. And they had showed you with that experiment that it's the dielectric that holds the charge, and it was the metal that moved the charge for the inductor, which is metal, it's metallic. Not like iron here. It's dampened. Try to trapped energy down there. Let's move down to this piece. Hello, my fellow YouTubers. This is Roy back again, part 2. I'll go real quick. I had loose high voltage in the dark. Not a great thing. This one's a quick one. The 2 rocks are charged. On a wire, you're going to see this side being a positive and pushing away, and this side being a negative and holding down. You ready? Keep an eye, because it happens real quick. Now notice when I power on, and when I let go of the power, it seems that these rocks, because they're magnetites, iron cores basically that are charged up, they hold a charge like an induction. You notice, watch this. les guste poner atención, no quieren ver completo el video, se pierden, ¿verdad? Se pierden porque esto va a revolucionar. Tenemos foto 310, estos son los timones de neodymium. Tuve que poner uno grande, uno grande, uno chiquito. ¿Sí? Porque si los ponía todos como deben de ser posición norte, la fuerza de estos imanes hace que se peguen los transformadores, ya se suspenden. Pero estoy menos de un centímetro de poder hacer que esto sea autosuficiente completamente. Vamos a empezar. Tiene la vuelta hacia este lado, o sea, contrario al reloj, produce muchísimo más corriente que la vuelta a este lado. ¿Sí? Al producir más corriente, se genera la transmisión magnética, se para. Entonces, lo que he logrado hasta ahorita, voy a mostrarles primero este lado. Vamos a poner, ojalá y no se me caiga la situación muy fuerte. Yo le doy vueltas hacia este lado. Pues le puse estas maderitas para que no jalara completamente el transformador. Vean la luz parpadeante como siempre. Ya descubrí que el parpadeo es por la separación de los imanes, no por otra cosa. Entonces, esto al girar, aunque vaya muy lento, ya tenemos luz. Mayor velocidad, tenemos más fuerza de luz. Puedo prender cuantos focos sean, solo hacer aproximar este, también ya lo tenemos prendido. Ya vieron esto, los alambres de neodymium. Ahora le voy a dar vuelta contraria hacia el principio alrededor. ¿Qué parece que se desconectó? sin ninguna batería.
Researchers at Researchers at the University of Texas are tackling some of the coolest magic out there. Visibility.
Take a close look at this video. It's gone viral. It allegedly shows U.S. Army soldiers in Iraq dressed in cloaking camouflage. The short clip is fueling theories that the U.S. military is already testing invisible technology on the battlefield. Two DoD advanced research agencies confirm several cloaking techniques are under development but are a long way from practical use.
Este video que acabamos de ver es del año 2013. Estaba en el antebrazo. Estamos viendo tecnología vieja. Cuando vemos que una megacorporación anuncia un sistema tecnológico que se controlará con la mente, estamos viendo tecnología vieja. Cuando una tecnología se vende al público, en general es porque ya es antigua y tiene al menos 20 años. Hemos visto en este canal que muchas de estas tecnologías se han adquirido a partir de naves extraterrestres recuperadas practicando ingeniería inversa. Estas naves eran controladas por la mente. Algunas tenían sensores en los apoyacabezas, otras tenían la hendidura de la mano en los apoyabrazos y se controlaban a través de una interfaz cerebro-computadora que estaba integrada allí. Pero en otras ocasiones es la misma nave que está viva y tiene la capacidad de leer la mente de las personas ni bien entran a la nave. Veamos un informe realizado en el año 2011.
It was once something that belonged only to science fiction.
but its developers say Harry Potter.
A veces con contratos militares, ya ha logrado avances muy importantes en... Según algunos informes que han trascendido de gente que ha estado trabajando en proyectos clasificados, este traje inteligente se ve como si fuera de neoprene, pero no lo es, y es capaz de absorber impactos y caídas o grandes saltos. Distribuye el peso del cuerpo y se ajusta en nanosegundos, absorbiendo toda la fuerza para que el cuerpo no tenga que soportar nada. Es a prueba de balas o de descargas electromagnéticas. El casco está totalmente controlado por la mente.
Pues sí.